Hey everyone, welcome back to the Squeeze Box. Today we're diving deep into the discussion surrounding Palworld, a new open world survival craft game that's been making waves. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest gaming content. Now let's get into it. So I got the chance to play this recently, and while I think there are a lot of fun elements about the game, it's not my favorite. That being said, I'm not wanting to make this a haterade video about a game concept I'm incredibly bored with. I just wanted to talk a little more in depth about some of the controversy regarding the game and some general rebuttals to those controversies, if that makes sense. So first things first, what is Palworld? So Palworld, developed by Pocket Pair, falls into the open world survival craft game where players must gather materials, craft items, and progress through the game. What sets Palworld apart is the inclusion of special NPCs called pals, which players can capture and tame to help with various tasks like farming, gathering, and manufacturing. You can also ride some of them around. So Palworld has faced its fair share of criticisms. Some argue that its systems closely resemble those of other popular games in the genre. Additionally, the character models have drawn comparisons to Pokemon, and the crafting and taming systems have been likened to those found in Ark Survival Evolved. Perhaps most intriguingly, there are questions about whether AI was used in the game's development. I just want to address these criticisms one by one. So the first one, in regards to similar systems, it's not very uncommon for games to share systems and features. Just like any industry, innovation often involves building upon existing ideas. Palworld is a part of a natural progression within the gaming world, where developers learn from and iterate on successful mechanics to create engaging experiences. So there have been numerous copies, quote unquote, of Ark Survival Evolved. I was just playing one of these that I've played for a number of years just the other day called Conan Exiles. There's a fair bunch of other ones, I think even in Craftopia, which is another game that the same studio has made. They have a very similar progression model. So I would say this one, if you're not liking it, then that's up to you. But ultimately, this company's not doing anything wrong by adding similar systems or whatever. I'm kind of getting a little bit burnt out on people saying, oh, it's not innovative, it's not innovative. You're not pushing them to be innovative. You keep buying it over and over and over again. So if you want innovative games, stop buying the less innovative games. And as we can tell, with Palworld's success, they're not going to get the idea here either. So here's the thing. Game developers are not making games anymore for, kind of the artistic value or necessarily for innovation, unless it's an easy step towards that innovation. They're going for numbers, for profit, for popularity. And the faster that people figure that out, the faster they're going to get over this, well, they're not innovating enough, etc. Just stop buying the game. If they're not innovating enough for you, don't play it. That's how easy it is. And then over time, when you do reward games or game companies for making innovative things, they might decide to kind of take a step back and then, do some innovative things. So let's go to the big one. Character models resembling Pokemon. The developer isn't claiming to have created Pokemon or claiming that this game exists within the Pokemon universe. It's essential to allow for creative progression without stifling it with overly restrictive copyright and trademark practices. The character models in Palworld may share similarities, but they also have distinct differences that justify their use. There's only so many ways that you can kind of cartoonify a fox and add little extras onto it, like a tuft of fur or whatever. And even if they used some of those other game models, like say from Pokemon as inspiration, then it's still fair use. We're still talking about fair use. If it doesn't look extremely, extremely similar, if it's, like literally just a squiggly line on it and that's it, then I think they should be able to use it. It's kind of ridiculous that we're still going over this thing of, oh, well, it's the likeness of this or it's the likeness of that. If they didn't directly rip the character models from a Pokemon game, then let's move on. Because I'm getting sick and tired of, and this is across all of the entertainment industries, in my opinion, the breaking point, or like the part where we should start talking about copyright, is if somebody directly copies a thing and then doesn't allow the person who originally made it to also do that thing. So like if I write a song and then somebody goes over and takes the exact same song in all parts, lyrics and everything, and then just says, well, actually I wrote that song and therefore you can't use that song anymore, or something of that nature. Or if this was the case where we're just doing a complete, somebody stole all of the assets from a game, just turned her around, called it something slightly different, but just essentially said, nope, actually this is my game, then that would be a thing that we should be talking about as far as copyright. But if it's like they went over and used some general likenesses of some models that are in a game and they put different colors on them, and it's not really a Pokemon game, it's more of like a survival craft game, which Pokemon has never been, we need to just get over it. Like, if you don't want to play the game, then don't play it. It's not stealing anything from Pokemon. It's never going to steal anything from Pokemon. Maybe, if anything, it's going to give, Pokemon and those devs some ideas on how to make an enjoyable game in their own universe. So, by all means, I think that on the opposite side, if, Game Freak, I think it is, that does the Pokemon, if they come over and say, hey, I guess I'm just going to go over and use Pokemon, and we're going to go over and make our own, inspired iteration of a game that's similar to Palworld, we also should not care. Palworld devs should not be turning around and trying to sue Game Freak because they're using their game style or whatever. You can't copyright game systems. There's only so many ways that you can make a cartoony character model of a fox or a dragon or whatever. We need to just knock this off. This is silly. It's money grubbing. And I don't care if it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation or the tiny little dog. Stop doing it. It's ridiculous. And then I guess the third one, crafting and taming systems are similar to Ark Survival Evolved. Again, borrowing elements from other games is not uncommon. It's about refining and combining existing mechanics to create a unique experience. As long as the implementation feels fresh and enjoyable, this approach can lead to successful games. And it can also resonate with players, as we're seeing. I mean, literally, Palworld has beat, I think it is Counter-Strike, at this point for the most played game on Steam ever. The use of AI in game development is a tool rather than a threat to creativity. AI assists developers in various aspects, from procedural generation to improving gameplay mechanics. It doesn't take away from the creative process, but it really honestly enhances it in a lot of ways. Palworld's utilization of AI is a testament to embracing advancements in technology to create a more immersive gaming experience. So I just really want to put a pin in this one, and let's kind of stop right here and really dig deep into this, because I think a lot of people, and maybe this is worth making a whole separate video on. So I'll do the somewhat Cliff Notes version here. AI is coming whether you like it or not. Whether it's taking your job or it's not taking your job, you are able to still, like if we're talking about an art, like if somebody is, say, painting, okay? And they're really annoyed because all of a sudden it's more difficult, for them to sell paintings. Well, even though I'm still compassionate for that situation that you're in, really your criticism is not with AI. That's not the criticism here. The criticism, truthfully, is in selling your art as a commodity, as a way to live, okay? So, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with selling your art as a commodity. I'm saying the system of capitalism that we live in is truly the issue here. If you didn't have to sell your art in order to survive, let's say as a society we have 16 manufacturing groups or 30 or whatever the number is, all working together and then giving a living stipend to all the people within that town that makes the town run, that keeps the town thriving. and you just happen to be doing your art, you would not give two craps about AI making art. You would not care because you're still getting food on the table. You're still able to make your art, which is supposed to be an expression anyway. So I just really struggle with this, that people are constantly pushing back on the AI thing. It's like, that's the same exact thing that AI is doing. It really doesn't matter if AI is being trained on copyrighted, quote unquote, copyrighted things or non-copyrighted things. Maybe it's a case where somebody could push back and say that that is something that a person should pay for, I suppose. And I guess in some cases, maybe you should pay for it, or sometimes it's private information. You shouldn't be using private information to train the AI. But I'm really, really in the camp of, if I go over and make something, go ahead and just put it in AI. I don't care if it trains off of that, as long as it's not directly, stealing my exact likeness of a painting in 100%, or my exact likeness of things that I've written as far as music. Go ahead and use it. If it's not writing my exact same song and then claiming that it's the one that wrote the song, once again, why do we care? I only care about my art being an expression, and AI using that after the fact does not change my expression. It's the same expression. So it once again comes back to people who really want to treat art like a commodity versus people who are treating art like an expression. This is really what it comes down to. And if you're a person that treats art like a commodity and you're really freaked out because AI is coming around and you're not going to be able to, paint one-off paintings or whatever for, somebody's dentist lobby or whatever, because the dentist lobby is deciding to, as in a lobby where people wait to go get dentistry done, not some lobbying group for dentists out there, but I hopefully picked up on that. But the point is just because you can't sell it as easily, it really does not keep you from doing your art. And if it's a case that, well, what am I going to do for money now? My suggestion to you would be to attack the system that has honestly been exploiting you this entire time, and you've been complicit in your own exploitation. You ought to go after that system, and you ought to make changes of that system rather than going after AI, which you're just cannot reiterate this enough. You are not going to stop AI. It's not stopping. Nobody was stopping automobiles. I wonder if the buggy manufacturers and the buggy whip manufacturers and the horse, trainers, etc., was there a big, outcry for all of them when the automobile came about? Of course, there probably was, but did they change anything? No. This is the new technology that we are going towards. If you don't like it, because of these kind of capitalist narrative things of exploitation that you're just used to, you should be attacking that, not the AI. The AI actually has a lot of aspects to it that can make all of our lives better if we are operating under a system that utilizes it in that fashion. Palworld's developers have openly stated that they aim to create games that appeal to the masses, focusing on what people want to play. While some may criticize this capitalist mindset, it's crucial to understand the context. Capitalism is a system that influences many aspects of our lives, including the game industry. If there's an issue with this system, the conversation should focus on broader societal changes rather than singling out individual developers. So, in conclusion, Palworld is a game that brings together familiar elements from various successful titles, adding its unique twist to create an engaging experience. The criticism it faces are not uncommon in the gaming industry, and it's essential to consider the broader context of capitalism and innovation. What are your thoughts on Palworld? share them in the comments down below, and don't forget to like this video if you found it informative. As always, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. See ya. No. It just goes rolling. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.